Hi again. Now for a sample of some of the satirical commentary you can expect throughout this novel. In this excerpt, you're going to meet Neiman Gorge. Neiman happens to be the head librarian and also the town's leading intellectual. He gives these weekly sermons, lectures to his book club called the Bookworms Illegitima, which is a book club for those born out of wedlock and other miscellaneous bastards. S had never attended one of these lectures, but had S entered our Macropolis a month or two sooner, had he stumbled up the library steps and lumbered down into the basement for one particular lecture dispensed to the overeager ears of the bookworms illegitima, he would have heard Neiman Gorge pontificate on that medium rare phenomenon known as the human institution. Institutions, Neiman informed the timid-eyed Heidi, the knuckle-cracking Hector, the skeptical Ruth, the snoring Room, the fidgeting Sedgwick searching that particular day for his belly button. Institutions are a curious animal. Human institutions inevitably subvert themselves. Becoming more concerned with preserving the institution, they eventually embrace principles antithetical to the very ideals they profess to champion. Take the institution of law he used as an example. According to legal historians, the legal system was initially established to ferret out truth, then mete out justice. But the evolution of said institution quickly led magistrates and judges, lawyers and attorneys, bailiffs, litigators, prosecutors for the defense, prostitutors for the offense, law clerks, mediators, legal counselors and their illegal counterparts, to become more concerned with salaries, procedural loopholes, public opinion, political expediency, and bribes not easily traceable. Thus, words like truth and justice had often to be looked up in antiquated lexicons, while attorneys and prosecutors were more inclined to dress in their finest and spout words in Greek and/or pig's Latin, such that jurors and opposing counsels would assume said lawyers knew far more than they actually did. In short, Neiman summarized, the institution of law is now all about winning. What is more, the preponderance of litigation by trial eventually led to the realization that said juries were won over not by being bored out of their skulls, but rather by being entertained, amused, seduced, as it were, into voting for this version of the truth as opposed to that version of the truth. And, just by historical coincidence, the librarian pointed out, the institution of art, originally intended to inspire and enlighten, had also evolved into realizing its mission was mainly to draw crowds, i.e., to entertain. Since through entertaining, the artist might earn enough income to support his/her agent and to stifle the incessant whining of his/her muse, which in most cases meant his/her spouse. Thus, the two institutions, the institution of law and the institution of art, merged. Jurors nowadays clamor to sit on the juicier murder trials, the more wanton burglaries, grand larcenies, and extortion cases. Bitter divorces were also in high demand. The more irreconcilable the differences, the more expensive the free popcorn. Everything from parking tickets to unpaid library fines drew crowds of prospective jurors. And why not when one enjoyed a front row seat to view some of the most highly esteemed actors, musicians, jugglers, con artists, and clowns in the business? And so, when S entered courtside for the first of his preliminary hearings, the three rings comprising the courtroom were humming with court clerks and legal carpenters positioning poles, erecting tents, stringing the tightropes, and securing the nets. Hawkers were selling gourmet popcorn and offering free balloons for $1. Legal advisors with colorful briefs shouted orders and jotted down last-minute motions to the show's itinerary, all the while expertly stepping out of the way of prosecutors sweeping the elephant dung left from the previous trial.